Hello everybody and welcome to day 5 of our 90-day transformation from mediocrity to mastery. My name is Matthew Armstrong and I will be your guide maybe through this 90 days as we transform together whatever it is in life where we want to go, whatever goals we want to have and achieve over the next 90 days and beyond. Because really 90-day goals is just really a milestone, right? You know, what we want to do is create a clear and compelling vision for our life and step into that vision daily as we move forward to our inspired destiny, which we are creating with every thought that we think, every move that we make, every feeling that we feel. We are creating our destiny right here, right now. Every moment, tick-tock, it's happening, right? So we can choose the direction in which we go. That's what feels truest to me, that we have some sort of choice in the matter, right? We have some sort of choice in the matter. I've looked at all different philosophies, and it just seems to me that we have some power to create our own inspired destiny. So what I want to talk about a little bit tonight is one of the questions somebody asked. You know, somebody asked after the last hangout, you know, what is the best way to implement what you teach? And it's a great question, and it's going to be covered throughout this whole book that we're going through. We're going through the Values Factor by Dr. John Demartini, and we haven't got into any of the exercises yet, but tomorrow going to be the first exercise where you actually take part, and it's like a workshop type thing. You take part in your own transformation, where you're not just passively listening, and that's what a few of the pages we'll read tonight. You'll get to understand that as well. But yeah, great question. What is the best way to implement what you teach? You know, that would have been a great question for Rhonda Byrne when she created the movie The Secret. Right, about the law of attraction, because, you know, let me tell you a story about that. You know, when that movie first came out, back in end of 2005, 2006 it was groundbreaking. It was really well made, and what it did was it brought universal laws, and it brought empowerment to the masses. Over 200 million copies of that DVD were sold, and however many other copies were just copied, and you know, group people watched them, etc. So it spread like wildfire all around the world. It created an impact, you know, but its impact was in two different ways. One was it helped people, and in another way it sent people into despair and frustration that why couldn't they make the law of attraction work? You know, when they had this thing of ask, believe, receive, which was the sort of this is how you implement it. You know, Rhonda Byrne said, well, this is how you implement the secret. You ask what you want, you believe, and then you receive it. You know, very simple 3-step process, and it sells very well. That's the thing. It's sold incredibly well because people want this easy way, you know. So that's why it appeals to many people. Is it quite as simple as that, you know? And I'm the first person to say, when I saw that movie, I was blown away by it. You know, I loved it. I even bought a ton of copies. I think I bought hundreds of copies of The Secret and sold them because I was telling everyone about it anyway. I was one of the first people to watch it before it became popular. I watched the very first month it came out. I saw it. And so I bought hundreds of DVDs because I was telling everyone about it anyway. I thought, well, I may as well profit from this, right? I'm telling the whole world about it and promoting it. So I started selling the DVDs, you know, and got a lot of people into it and everything and followed it. But there did seem to be something missing. It seemed to be like it was up in the clouds, right? It seemed to be like it was up in the clouds, and it's hard to get traction with it, you know. And so, you know, how to implement what I'm teaching. So that's what I'm going to show. I'm going to show you how to get traction with everything. And John Demartini, whose teachings we were following in the Values Factor here, he was one of the speakers in The Secret. But at no point did he say, all you have to do is ask, believe, and receive. He said some very powerful and profound things, and I related to what he was saying. I liked what he was saying, and I felt inspired by his words, for sure. But there was more to it than that, you know. And then there's missing parts to the secret, the law of attraction, which I'll talk about more in future videos. For example, looking at another speaker that I found truly inspiring from The Secret was James Arthur Ray. And some of us know what happened to James Arthur Ray. James Arthur Ray was, well, first of all, he became wildly successful from The Secret, right? Very famous from it, as one of the most prominent people on it. And then he was running a retreat, and tragedy happened. Tragedy happened where he was supposed to be a master of the law of attraction. He was supposed to be a master of creating the life you want every single day, right? He was one of the teachers of it, one of the world teachers, one of the world masters of it. So why on that fateful day did 3 people die in his hands while he was supposed to be running a retreat to transform people's lives? Why did that happen? You know, and it sent a lot of people into a flat spin. A lot of people became disillusioned with it all, saying, you know, this guy James Arthur Ray, how did this happen to him? He's supposed to be a master of this, and then people start dying in his care. And that's a missing part that a lot of people don't understand. Is the journey of life. Life isn't supposed to be on planet Earth. Life is not supposed to be just all sunshine and rainbows the whole time. You know, because how is a rainbow created? A rainbow is created from rain anyway, you know. When you have stormy conditions and rain, that's when you get some of the most beautiful rainbows coming out afterwards, right? You know, so you need the balance of both. And so with James Arthur Ray, he had this seemingly tragedy in his life. But really that was just part of his journey. And it was part of the journey of the other people that were on it as well. You know, the people that even left their bodies, their families, they're all on their journey as well, you know. And I've been studying the journey that's in the psyche of every human being. It's called the hero's journey, which was made popular by Joseph Campbell, or not made popular, but brought out of the people's psyches and put into word, explaining it in such a way. And so this is one of the books that I highly recommend to get a real missing piece of the puzzle, to understand why that happened to James Arthur Ray from The Secret. Was Joseph Campbell, The Hero with 1,000 Faces. Now, this is a phenomenal book. This is the secret to George Lucas. George Lucas, the creator of the Star Wars saga, multi-billionaire. This book here is the secret to his success. If he didn't read this book, Star Wars would never have existed, right? Very, very powerful book here. This is one of the books that I'm reading over and over again this year. I chose 3 books to read this year, and I just read them over and over again. Every day I read so many pages of each one, and when I finish, I just go right back to the beginning and start again. Quite hard going, that book, quite hard going. Here's another one that's been written, inspired by A Hero with 1,000 Faces, and this is The Writer's Journey by Christopher Vogler. And especially if you're an aspiring writer, or you're a writer, even if you're into movies, you know, especially because he's a Hollywood writer. He writes a lot of Hollywood blockbusters and things like that, and he consults on a lot of major scripts and screenplays and things like that. So this is much easier to understand the hero's journey from this book than this one. But the two together make a powerful combination to have. And then, of course, this book here is the 3rd book, which I'm reading over and over again this year and learning. So I'm in the process of mastering these 3 books, right? So we talk about mediocre, from mediocre to mediocrity to mastery. You know, it comes with not just doing things once, but doing things over and over again. Repetition, as they say, is the mother of all skill. And if you're not into repetition, then you're not into mastery, you know? So, so I'm just going through these 3 books. I'm going to really understand the hero's journey at a deep level where I can teach it. I'm really going to understand the values factor at a deep level where I can teach it. And these 3 books, the hero's journey and the values factor, they make a part of the missing pieces of The Secret, the law of attraction, that sort of whole thing. And these are the missing parts. Okay, this is what I've discovered in my journey from whatever it was, 2005, when I first learned about universal laws, first learned about all that sort of stuff on a level of actually studying it. You know, I had ideas about stuff like that before, and I had experiences, but we're actually said, okay, I'm going to learn this stuff and study it. You know, it's been a journey of around a decade to learn this stuff. You know, and that's what I've come. Those are the missing pieces, right? Take this time to hydrate and to oxygenate. Breathe deep. So going back to the question that somebody asked last night, what is the best way to implement what you teach, right? And the best way to implement what I teach is to create a crystal clear vision for your life, and even if you're not clear on it at the start, write down a rough vision, and then keep adding detail to it and keep changing it until you get it as clear as possible, and then you can keep adding details to your vision for your life. What you really want to create in your life, what's important to you, what you value, and create that vision for your life, right? Once you create that vision, then you're going to have milestones as you move towards that vision. So they'll be your goals. Your goals are like your milestones, right? Moving towards your vision. Different parts of your vision, different chapters of your life will be that, right? And then going back to your daily actions, and that's where the rubber really meets the road. That's where you really get traction with creating your vision in life. Because like I said, you know, a dream without action is, you know, vision without action is a dream. Vision without action is a dream. And action without vision is chaos, right? So, you know, creating a vision and then taking daily action towards that vision, that's how you create it. You know, this is the missing part of The Secret. You know, where, okay, what do you do every day? What do you do every day? You have your vision. You've got to take action every day towards it. You know, and by writing down your 6 or 7 highest priority action steps every single day, and then ticking them off and moving forward. Each day they might change slightly, they might stay exactly the same, your action steps. As you clarify your vision, as you align your values more, your vision might change slightly, because sometimes your vision might be a bit of a fantasy, and that you're trying to like live somebody else's vision. You know, some other authority figure has projected their vision, and you think you should follow their vision. And so that's why, you know, as I said earlier in earlier videos, that to actually know yourself is what is crucial. Because if you don't know yourself, then, you know, you're following a vision that's not in alignment with you and who you are. So that's why we're learning the values factor. That's why we're learning to really know what's most important to us in life. And once we know that, you know, then we get alignment. So we have our vision, we have that alignment, and then our goals are in alignment with that, and our actions are congruent and in alignment with that. And that's how we can become the master manifestors of our life and create mastery in our lives. And, you know, to me, that's advanced living. You know, it's like, if you look around you, you see convenience living. People are just doing what's convenient. You know, going through life and just do convenience living, and that's the mediocre kind of standard stuff. Advanced living, when you actually look at the details of this and start to master everything, you know. And so, how to implement, create your crystal clear vision, and then set out your goals in accordance with that. Then work back to your daily action steps that you need to take, and then this 90-day transformation. This is what all I was doing. So at the end of this 90 days, you're just going to be on a super highway towards your vision, right? And not going off course, taking all these little B roads, you know, and dead ends and things like that, right? Because that's when we're in the flow. And everything will become clear. Trust in the process. Things will become clearer and clearer every day, and that's so a bit of trust, a bit of faith in the process is very important, right? So okay, so our reading from today. If you haven't got this book yet, you definitely need it, because tomorrow we start the exercises, and without the book, you know that it's not going to be the same in the exercises, because I'm just going to be talking them, and you're going to have no sort of reference for them. They're not going to be there in front of you in written print. So you need the book. Amazon or drdemartini.com, you can get them there. I have no affiliation with them whatsoever, apart from, you know, cool dude. I met him once, had a chat with him. That was it. Making the most of this book. The value you get from this book will be in direct proportion to how deeply you engage with it. If you read this book as a passive observer, you will learn something, but you will not learn nearly as much as if you engage with it deeply and fully, relating to it your own life, relating it to your own life, your own goals and your own truest, highest values. Chapter by chapter, you will have the opportunity to discover your highest values and integrate them with your endeavors in each core area of life. The book begins with an explanation of how to identify your highest values, a provocative 13-part questionnaire in which you become aware of your current values by looking at how you actually live. With what do you fill your home and workspace? What occupies your time? What energizes you? Where do you spend your money? What do you talk about and think about? In which areas of your life are you most focused and organized? What inspires you? What are your most consistent long-term goals? What do you love to research and explore? Through this process, you come to realize that your highest values are not the social idealisms to which you give lip service, such vague abstractions as honesty or integrity, but the core purposes that drive your actions and shape your life. Understanding your highest values is the key to understanding yourself, your purpose, and your inspired destiny. It is also the key to creating a life's work that will fulfill you, forging relationships that will both challenge and nourish you, and tapping into your own unique genius. As I've said, my highest values are researching, writing, traveling, and teaching. Understanding these values has enabled me to create a life based on these values. I live on a luxury ship that enables me to travel the world when I am at home, studying the laws of human potential and writing about what I've discovered. I also fly around the globe to teach others what I have learned. Other people have different values. Rose Kennedy's highest values was raising a family of leaders. She spent her days nurturing, educating, and inspiring her children, grooming them for the leadership she envisioned as their birthright. She would not have found my life fulfilling any more than I would have found being fulfilled by hers. Yet by understanding her own highest value and shaping her life accordingly, she both found fulfillment and was a profound service to others. Whenever I meet a parent who tells me that their highest value is caring for their children, I think of Rose Kennedy and the power she found in knowing her highest values. Each of us has our own highest values, and we understand and express in our own unique ways. I've already told you about my client, the respected doctor, whose highest values were healing, learning more about healing, and teaching others to heal. His life faltered when he tried to build wealth and to create a fulfilling life for his family in a way that was disconnected from his highest values. His life became far more productive and fulfilling when he found a way to link his wealth-creating efforts to his highest values so that he could build wealth and security through healing, learning, and teaching. Another client's highest value was dancing. Although she was middle-aged and slightly overweight, she was a graceful woman who simply loved to dance. When I met her, she felt despair about not finding work that fulfilled her. And she had absolutely no idea that at her age, she could create a life organized around her devotion to dance. By showing her the power of the values factor, I helped her build an international dance touring business based on the activity that she loved most. Her enterprise succeeded because it was deeply rooted in her highest values. This in turn enabled her to live her destiny, activate her genius, and create a fulfilling career. Once you have identified your highest values, it's time to align your goals to them. I show you how to do this process in the 7 core areas of life: relationships, education, career, financial life, social influence, health, and your inspired spiritual quest. I explain the way to achieve fulfillment in each of these areas. Align your goals and your highest values. This may sound simple because it is simple. When our goals and highest values are aligned, we access resources we never even realized we had. Because finally, all of our abilities, stamina, and intention are mobilized together towards creating the life that we truly love. The life that suits our unique purpose in the world. Yet, for want of understanding of this simple, powerful concept, most people are living lives of quiet desperation, instead of amazing lives of inspiration that are their birthright. No matter who you are or what goals you have, understanding the values factor can help you create an extraordinary life that inspires and fulfills you every day. Mastering the values factor. I feel grateful that I've been able to create such a fulfilling life, one that enables me to pursue my highest purpose. As a result, I've spent the past 2.5 decades helping hundreds of thousands of people achieve their breakthroughs, showing them how to discover their highest values and then set their goals accordingly. Now, people all over the world are tapping into the enormous power of the values factor, a concrete approach to determining their highest values and using them to achieve their most meaningful goals. People who draw upon their own highest values can live truly extraordinary lives. They access enormous inspiration and inner drive to achieve even the most daunting tasks. They notice opportunities that others miss. They create fulfilling relationships of all types, with like partners, family members, colleagues, friends, and they put themselves on the path of fulfilling their inspired destiny. Knowing your highest values and applying your intentions accordingly gives you the opportunity for so many rewards in your life. Everything from financial achievement, love, and more fulfilling relationships to leadership, integrity, and a deeper sense of meaning. Mastering the values factor can mean the difference between a life that lacks inspiration and a life that is bursting with it, between a life that feels stagnant and one that is overflowing with purpose and inner drive. Mastering the values factor is the key to transforming and fulfilling your life. All right, that's it, and that's the end of chapter 1. Tomorrow we'll start chapter 2, which is identifying your values, and then there's an exercise in there that we'll start doing and then complete it for homework, home play. Powerful stuff, right? Powerful stuff, just really reiterating what I was talking about anyway, and as a part, right? So by the way, any questions you have, you can ask them in the comments below. For some reason, it's, I don't know, I tried to post a comment earlier on, and it's still buffering. So maybe that's not working yet. But we'll put up a new page for these Hangouts to be on, and so you can comment live, and then I can reply to your comments, because what I was finding was when I was replying to comments on YouTube that my replies weren't showing up. So that's that. Okay, that's us for tonight. So what I want you to think about at least is what is your vision? Just start to clarify your vision. Start to think about your values, and start to think about your what do you want to transform in this next 90 days? What's most important to you right now? What are you working on? What is it for you? Is it your health, well-being? Is it your career? Is it your relationships? Is it your finances and financial freedom? That's what it is for me at the minute. Is just getting to a new level with financial freedom. It's something I didn't focus on for many years, and now I'm just seeing it as such a great opportunity and challenge to do right now, and I'm enjoying the process of seeing results and really understanding the importance of financial freedom, realizing that money is nothing but a value, the value of the service that we render. So whatever service we give, that's how we can measure it through the money that we receive. If we have it linked to those values, because some people just give out service and service and service and don't charge for it, and then they're just they're not helping themselves really with that, you know. So it's important to link your service with your finances, as we already learned about the doctor healer guy who was focused so much on healing, so much on growth, so much on helping without charging for it, that you know, in the end, his family life was suffering and everything was suffering because he didn't link finances and financial freedom to his highest values of learning about healing and helping others and things like that. He didn't link them together. So you know, that's what I have finally linked together. And so over the next 90 days, I'm creating this $100,000 in the next 90 days. That's my goal, my milestone for this challenge. And if you want to also create financial freedom and have an income goal, then you know, I've got the system and the platform to do that. So you can click on the link below here, below this hangout, and you can go ahead and get started and join my team and run with me with this in creating financial freedom over these next 90 days. And it's very, very possible to do that, you know, very, very possible to do that. Income disclaimer, I'll put an income disclaimer down the bottom of the page. You know, everyone will achieve the results, because not everyone's willing to take the actions that you need to take, right? Not everyone's going to have the same desire. And that's really what it's down to. It's about, if it's important to you, having the desire to do it and then taking the actions, right? So if you want to do that, click on the link below. Whatever you, this is a great system. I highly recommend you joining me on it, or whatever you do. It's entirely up to you. There's plenty of videos on my channel for health and well-being, for fitness, for you know, personal development, and all sorts of things. So go ahead, watch whatever you want, and I look forward to speaking to you again tomorrow. This is Matthew Armstrong signing out. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. Ciao.